All right, team, here we go. This is the rest of our Leaf Lumber baseball case. There's 6 boxes here, so 2, 4, 6. Um, Rest of the case, again, I know I've said it on every feed, but I'm really surprised at um, how poorly this sold. But we've got Electrum Multisport coming up, and I've got it in hand, and I want to get that thing going first part of next week. So we'll do the rest of this. Good luck, everyone. This box feels kind of heavy. I don't know. Maybe not. The first one I picked up today, so. It's exactly the same as all the rest. Oh, there is a thicker card. So. Bat barrel, bat knob, maybe? Hang on, I'm also going to get the checklist up. I know most of them, but just in case. All right, getting us started. I think this is Phillies. Yeah, Phillies to 45, Bobby Abreu. Bobby Abreu to 45. Guardians, probably? Hang on, I'm not seeing him in the checklist at all. Hang on. He's not. 1 second. So I will go to. Yeah, it's going to be Guardians. 8 years Guardians, 7 years Tigers. So this is Victor Martinez to 45. Not a bat knob or barrel. Also not a big name, unfortunately. Let's see who it's going to. Dodgers. It is a prime piece. Lee Lacy. Lee Lacy. It's the outer portion of a bat, but nothing crazy. 2 of 5. These are huge. I don't know if it'll even. Nope. Deal with that one later. And then the auto is to the Cardinals. 1 of 6, Andy Van Slyke and Jack Clark on the grain of salt. These are cool. It's like got like a wood finish. 1 of 5. But still not a great box there. All right. We'll see. I feel like that one's heavier too. So maybe I just can't feel the weight. Or I'm off on what these things should feel like. All right. Oakland. I think of him as a giant, but I could be wrong. Chili Davis to 20. Some of these base back cards are pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. Cardinals is at least a Hall of Famer. Ozzie Smith to 35. auto Rangers, Jeff Burrows to 30. First career home run off Ron Pernoski in 1971. And we have another multi-auto. This multi-auto is a little better. To the Dodgers. Signature sticks to 8. Dusty Baker, Steve Garvey, Steve Yeager and Steve Garvey. Not bad on that one. 5 of 8. Triple auto. Focus, focus, focus. There it is. Two down. Still nothing crazy. All right. Think of him as a Marlin, but yeah, this is Marlins. Cliff Floyd, 6 of 7. I assume Dodgers here. It's not showing up in the checklist, so I will double check. Defaults to longest tenure, which I'm sure is Dodgers, but yep. Dodgers to 45. Raul Mondesi. Fall Classics. That's a 6-way relic to 5. It's cool. No need to random this. No one bought either of these spots. It's Cardinals and Brewers. Ken Oberkfell, Keith Hernandez, Ozzie Smith, Cecil Cooper, Paul Molitor, and Robin Yount to 5. And one would think that if you're going to have such a limited number of autos that you would collate them a little better. But this is to the Dodgers. Dusty Baker. Back-to-back boxes with a Dusty Baker auto. Triple on the other one. This is a grain of salt at 35, which is kind of cool. Nice looking card, don't get me wrong, but these aren't like giant name autos here. It's not exactly Aaron Judge. Pirates to 5. J Bell. These are rough. These boxes are not cheap. Dodgers, Steve Yeager to 5. Okay. Next one is finally a good hit. To the Yankees. Dual all-time enshrined to 4. Mickey Mantle. That's better. Mickey got 88.2% of the vote. So ridiculous. Orioles, nice hit here. Grain of salt. That's you, Richard. 20 of 30, Eddie Murray on the auto. These grain of salts are cool. Two boxes left, y'all. Mantle helps a little bit, but it's still not crazy. Braves, Greg Maddux to 15. All-time enshrined dual. Phillies, Steve Carlton, all-time enshrined. That's to 3. These pictures are kind of funny. This is cool. White Sox. So this is you, Brian. To 3. The Lumber Club. That's Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, Harold Baines, Carlos Lee, Richie Zisk, Ron Kittle, Ozzie Guillen, and Nellie Fox. It's a cool one. Also a little better auto in this one. Auto, Poppy to 20. David Ortiz to the Red Sox. First homer off of Julio Santana. All right, guys, last box. Here we go. Good luck. A knob or barrel would be real cool. That would help dramatically. I don't think that's what we have, though. First Royals hit for you, Denise. Bo Jackson to 7. I'm going to be just short on top loaders. 1 sec. All right. Yankees to 3. Tino Martinez. Lumber Awards. These are rookies of the year from 80 to 84. So Joe Charbonneau. Let's get this to focus. Joe Charbonneau, Darryl Strawberry, Ron Kittle, Steve Sachs, Cal Ripken Jr., and Dwight Gooden. We do need to random this. Ripken is Orioles and Kittle is White Sox, I assume. Hang Hang on, I will double check that one. Well, Kittle doesn't show up by himself, but I'm going to call him White Sox. So we do need to random that off because that's Guardians, Dodgers, Mets, Orioles, Mets, and White Sox. So we'll random that one. And then to the Dodgers to end it, Steve Garvey, auto to 2. I mean, that was not fantastic. I'm not going to lie. Not a whole lot of legends in that. Hang on, let me top load this guy. And then we'll random it. This is the only random we need to do. We got the one book yesterday, and that was pretty cool, but nothing crazy. All right, so let's go across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Here we go. It is 3. So that is Darryl Strawberry, this spot right here. So to the Mets. All right, folks. Let's recap those 6 boxes. Kind of disappointing 6 boxes, if I'm being honest. Okay. All right. Here are just the base game used bats. Yankees, Tino Martinez to 3. Bo Jackson to the Royals to 7. Steve Yeager to the Dodgers to 5. Jay Bell to the Pirates to 5. Raul Mondesi to the Dodgers to 45. Cliff Lloyd to the Marlins to 7. Ozzie Smith to the Cardinals to 35. Chili Davis, he is the A's to 20. Victor Martinez is the Guardians to 45. Bobby Abreu is the Phillies to 45. We had 1 prime. That's Lee Lacy. That's the Dodgers to 5. The multis. This is Cardinals and Brewers. Ken Oberkfell, Keith Hernandez, Ozzie Smith, Cecil Cooper, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount for the Fall Classics 1982. This is the White Sox to 3. Yeah. Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, Harold Baines, Carlos Lee, Richie Zisk, Ron Kittle, Ozzie Guillen, and Nellie Fox. Lumber Awards, Rookies of the Year, Joe Charbonneau, Steve Sachs, Darryl Strawberry, Cal Ripken, Ron Kittle, and Dwight Gooden. That is to... Did I lose the number on this thing? Oh, there it is, 5. We had all-time enshrined. These are duels. So Greg Maddux to the Braves. That's to 15. Dual game used bats. Come on. There we go. Steve Carlton to the Phillies. That's to 3. And then this is the best hit. Mickey Mantle to 4 to the Yankees. And then the autos... Okay. So, first career home run autos. Steve Garvey to the Dodgers. That's to 2. Jeff Burrows to the Rangers. That's to 30. David Ortiz to the Red Sox. That's to 20. And then Grain of Salt autos. Eddie Murray to 30. That's to the Orioles. Dusty Baker to 35. That's the Dodgers. And then a duel to the Cardinals, Andy Van Slyke and Jack Clark. That's also to 5. And then we had a triple signature sticks. Dusty Baker, Steve Yeager, Steve Garvey to the Dodgers. That's to 8. All right, folks, that's it. I'm sorry that case wasn't a little better. It was not great. Maybe that's why you guys weren't buying in. I did not watch a ton of these. I just watched a couple and The couple I watched were definitely better than that case, but maybe not by a ton. Maybe they're more like that normally. So, thanks guys for joining in. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.